Hey, my friend, welcome to the Living a Better Story podcast. You know, sometimes we call this podcast an experience because all throughout the mass variety of amazing guests we have on the show, you'll hear stories of overcoming trauma, hitting record-breaking business growth numbers, forgiving the unforgivable, and yes, even miracles that will shock and inspire you. My name is Daryl Stinson, and I'm one of the content producers here. I trust that you're already living an amazing story, but whether you are or not, we are here to help you live a better one. The process is simple. No matter where you are in business or life, we are going to show you how to complete your past, tell the truth about your current reality, and empower you to live a better story. So, as you hear stories that inspire you and information that can help you, please do us a favor, subscribe to the podcast, share with others, and let us hear about the goodness that's happening in your life. All right, my friends, that's all for now. Go enjoy the episodes and get ready to swing open wide the door to unlimited opportunity.
So think about a painful memory, and then how did that impact you later in a positive way?
You know, I look at the day that I got shot. It was August 17th, 11:36 in the morning in Grand Central Station in Manhattan. It was a beautiful summer day. And we didn't do street crime. We were detectives working on an organized crime case. And we ran across the uniformed cop who was running north on Park Avenue South, and he had his radio up, and we just joined the chase. What do you got? And he says, I got a bank robber, and there he goes. And being the youngest and the fastest, I was right behind him going in the doors of Grand Central, and he was ready and I was not. He was there in a combat police stance and shot me in the chest, and then he turned around and he shot the uniformed cop and killed him. So there I am sitting on the floor in Grand Central Station with a bullet hole in my chest, with blood running down between my fingers. And I'm just waiting to die. And the experience is, I can remember it like it was today. First of all, I could see the bullet coming out of the barrel of his gun with the orange flash behind it. But sitting on the floor, I remember it was like a calm lake, perfectly calm. I said my apologies to God. I said, God, I've been a bad boy. I tried to make it up. I hope that's good enough. And then I sat there and I waited to die. And I did not. They rushed me to the Bellevue Hospital, along with Tommy Chimenti, may he rest in peace, the cop who died. And we were in the same ambulance. And I knew he was gone when we got to the emergency room because they stopped working on him. And they were working on me. That was the biggest, most traumatic event that has ever happened to me. It lasts my whole life. I remember it every day, every year. It comes up. August is a tough month for me. I wound up developing PTSD several months later. And that was another shakeup of my life. And I was just fortunate enough that I didn't go that deep rabbit hole and have suicide ideation. I never got there, but I can understand how guys get there. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my biggest causes today to help combat some of the suicides we're experiencing from PTSD. But that's the most traumatic day of my life, actually. Why? In my case, I literally dodged the bullet 3 times. I should have been dead 3 times. I was at the doorstep. It didn't happen. So every day I question, all right, why did you leave me here? Show me the opportunity. All right. Let me see what you need. Right. Because I'm too stupid to figure it out myself. So I got to wait for the Holy Spirit to come and say, hey, Greg, do this. I've done several things like that, though, for sure.
That's right. A lot of times these painful experiences, like you said, the calm sea, the calmness, you could see the other side, and you're like, you know what? I probably need to do something a little bit differently than I'm
Chad, I wasn't that smart. Even after the fact, I was not that smart. It took a long time. I'm a slow learner. It took me a long time to wrap my head around the fact that I was screwing up my own life and I needed to do something different. I mean, I have 4 grown sons now and I have 2 stepchildren, and I wouldn't have any of that if I stayed on the track that I was on. So I give credit to the good Lord above who pulled back on that leash and said, hey, listen, I even know the name of my guardian angel.
Oh, really?
His name is Roy. And Roy, you could picture a retired linebacker, beat up, helmet askew, tearing his jersey, and he's there for me because I kicked his ass my whole life, and he's all beat to hell.
So final question, what role does faith play in your journey? We covered it a little bit, but before we sign out, what does faith play in your journey?
It keeps me humble. It keeps me humble and thankful for the blessings I have. It's really interesting because the faith side, in retrospect, when you screwed up. I'm haunted by somebody that I fired. And I was not nearly as forgiving as I should have been. I put the CEO hat on and I excluded everything else. And to this day, and this is years ago, this is maybe a good 3-4 years ago, I regret doing that. And I asked for forgiveness for doing that because he was crying. And I was so adamant that he had to be fired. And it wasn't the end of the world what he did. And I was trying to make an example of him and not hold him close, I guess. And not say, hey, guess what? You screwed up. And, let's make sure this doesn't happen again. I mean, I hope God doesn't hold me to the same standard that I have that poor guy to.